Mr. Stern, if I could just start with you. I see that 5 or 6 days ago you gave an interview in which you said that the removal of Mmud Khalil, the pro-Hamas foreign rioter, is a form of McCarthyism and makes Jewish students less safe. Now, this is an individual who has been accused of endorsing and espousing terrorist activity, who has been accused of lying on his application to a green card in the United States, who's currently being sued for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students. Do you stand by your view that trying to remove him is a form of McCarthyism?
Absolutely, Senator.
Why in the world would that be the case?
Let me answer. He hasn't been charged with the crime. The clear predicate for this, White House said, was handing out pro-Hamas propaganda. When you start talking about people's views and what they're talking about in the public square as a basis for discrimination, and then the effect on Jewish students, it's not just the fact that Jews may be seen as, well, we're pushing this and that's going to happen. The way that this is going to harm Jewish students is it harms the academy.
Hello, everyone. Today, we need to talk about something that has me absolutely fired up. Senator Josh Hawley, one of the few in Washington who actually has a backbone, just went toe-to-toe with a Democrat witness, Mr. Stern, in a Senate hearing. And let me tell you, this exchange was nothing short of explosive. It perfectly highlights everything that's wrong with the left's approach to law, order, and the safety of our Jewish students on college campuses.
Wait a minute. My time is limited. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just wait a minute. I've got to correct numerous inaccuracies there. Number one, as you very well know, United States law says that a non-citizen is inadmissible for entry into this country if they, and I quote, endorse or espouse terrorist activity or persuade others to do the same. That same law provides you can be removed for the same reasons. That is what Mr. Khalil has been accused of. He has further been accused of by the United States government lying on his visa application. That on its own would be sufficient to remove him from this country. He is being sued as you and I sit here in New York court by the victims of October 7th for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students, unlawfully taking over and damaging public university property, and physically assaulting Columbia University employees. And you're telling me that it's McCarthyism to remove this individual?
Senator, the deportation was started before that lawsuit, before that second question about what he was saying on his forms.
No, this is what the government has alleged in open court, Mr. Stern. This is the basis for their removal proceedings. And our law makes clear if you endorse or espouse terrorist activity, you can be removed from this country. He has done so. He's been accused of doing so from the beginning. He's been accused of lying to get into the country. I'm amazed that you're saying that this is McCarthyism.
Senator, you weren't here when I quoted part of what Justice Brandeis was talking about the back at a case where there's somebody that was convicted for supporting the Communist Party because they were talking about violence as a political solution. And Brandeis cautioned us that this type of robust speech, as long...
This isn't speech. Lying on a visa application is not speech. Seeking to assault Columbia University employees and Jewish students is not speech. You are defending an individual who has espoused the destruction of this country, the destruction of the state of Israel, the destruction of Jews, and has taken actions in furtherance of the same. You've also said that investigating the 60 colleges and universities that are currently under investigation by the Trump administration for anti-Semitism is a form of weaponizing anti-Semitism for political benefit. You're opposed to investigating these institutions for anti-Semitism?
Senator, I've been very clear that OCR has a very important role, that there are complaints that should go through the process. When you start using the Department of Justice and threatening universities' funding...
You are opposed, I just want to get this on the record, you are opposed to investigating Columbia University and others for anti-Semitism?
No.
That's what you said 6 days ago.
I am not opposed to doing it the right way.
What does that mean, doing it the right way?
Not to claw back funds, not to say we're holding you ransom. We're getting your faculty, Jewish...
You were asked about an investigation for failing to protect Jewish students, and you said that's just weaponizing anti-Semitism. It makes students less safe.
It is when the Department of Justice has a list of places they want to go to. The Senator Markey's question...
Oh, I heard Senator Markey's questions. I heard his whole speech. I thought it was insane. I just want to say for the record, I thought it was totally insane. And I think your positions are similarly insane. I think the idea that we would bend over backwards to hug and kiss and make nice to a pro-Hamas rioter, because that's what Khalil is, and that we would say, heavens, we can't remove him, and that makes Jewish students less safe on our campuses? That's nuts.
Senator,
That's nuts.
To Rabbi Saberstein's point, if you look at American history, the times when Jews were most vulnerable was during the Palmer raids in World War I, when there was political...
Jews are vulnerable now on our campuses because of people like Khalil, and I want to say for the record, I'm glad he's gone, and I hope he never comes back.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, Senator Hawley was questioning Mr. Stern about an individual named Mmud Khalil. Who is Khalil, you ask? Well, he's someone who has been accused of endorsing terrorist activities, lying on his visa application, assaulting Jewish students, and damaging university property. And yet, the left has the audacity to defend this man. Let's break this down, because this is a prime example of how the radical left's priorities are completely upside down. They'll bend over backward to protect people like Khalil, who have allegedly harmed Jewish students and supported terrorism, but they won't lift a finger to defend the real victims, our students, our citizens, and the values this country was built on. Did you hear that? Hawley is absolutely right. This isn't just about words or political disagreements. This is about someone who, according to allegations, has openly supported violence and the destruction of the U.S. and Israel. And yet Mr. Stern, the so-called witness, has the nerve to call Khalil's removal from this country McCarthyism. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something, folks. McCarthyism was about going after innocent people without evidence. This guy Khalil? He's been accused of lying to get into this country, of assaulting Jewish students, and of endorsing terrorist activities. That's not speech. That's not protected by the First Amendment. That's criminal behavior, plain and simple. And if these accusations are true, he doesn't deserve to be here. Period. McCarthyism. No, Mr. Stern, this is called enforcing the law. This is called protecting innocent people from those who want to do them harm. But of course, the left would rather play word games and cry about discrimination than actually stand up for Jewish students who are being harassed and assaulted on college campuses. And let's not forget, Khalil is being sued by victims of the October 7th attacks. He's accused of terrorizing Jewish students and physically assaulting Columbia University employees. I mean, how much more evidence do you need? If someone like this doesn't qualify for deportation, then who does? Here's the bigger issue, folks. This isn't just about one guy. This is about the left's complete inability or unwillingness to confront evil when they see it. Instead of standing up for Jewish students who are being threatened on our campuses, they're more worried about protecting the rights of someone who allegedly supports terrorism. It's disgusting. And let's talk about these universities for a second. Senator Hawley brought up a critical point. There are 60 colleges and universities under investigation for anti-Semitism. And what does Mr. Stern say? He says investigating them is weaponizing anti-Semitism. Excuse me. Investigating anti-Semitism is weaponizing it? How does that even make sense? Exactly right. Jewish students are being targeted right now. They're being harassed, intimidated, and assaulted on college campuses across this country. And instead of taking action, the left is more concerned about protecting the feelings of people like Khalil. It's insanity. What's worse is the left's obsession with avoiding accountability. Mr. Stern talks about doing investigations the right way. What does that even mean? Does it mean dragging things out for years? Does it mean making excuses for faculty members and administrators who turn a blind eye to anti-Semitism? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Let me tell you what doing it the right way looks like. It looks like holding these universities accountable. It looks like pulling their federal funding if they allow anti-Semitism to flourish on their campuses. And it looks like removing dangerous individuals like Khalil from this country. That's how you protect Jewish students. That's how you stand up for what's right. But the left doesn't want to do that. They'd rather lecture us about justice and free speech while ignoring the very real threats facing Jewish students. It's shameful. You're absolutely right, Senator. It is nuts. And it's about time someone called it out. The radical left has gone so far off the deep end that they're now defending people who allegedly support terrorism. And let me tell you, patriots, this isn't just a problem on college campuses. This is a problem across our entire country. It's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to take a stand. We can't let the left's twisted ideology dictate how we protect our citizens. We need leaders like Senator Hawley who are willing to fight for what's right, who are willing to stand up to the radical left and say, enough is enough. So, here's my message to all of you watching. Don't stay silent. Speak out. Share this video. Let people know what's really going on. Because if we don't stand up now, the radical left will keep pushing their agenda, and the safety of our students and the future of our country will be at risk. Thank you for watching, Patriots. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Together, we can fight back against this madness. God bless you, and God bless America.